The sun was setting on the planet Valora. The sky turned orange and purple. Strange birds flew across the clouds. Do-hyun walked alone through the valley. He carried a heavy bag on his back. His boots were covered in mud. Do-hyun was a surveyor. His job was to study new planets. He walked many miles every day. He took samples of rocks and water. He wrote reports about the land. It was lonely work, but he did not mind. He liked the quiet. Valora was a beautiful planet. It had tall mountains and deep rivers. The trees were blue instead of green. The flowers glowed at night, but Valora was also dangerous. There were many things that could kill a man. Poison plants, wild animals, and the quicksand. The quicksand on Valora was not like the quicksand on Earth. It was silver in color. It moved slowly, like a living thing. If a person stepped into it, they would sink. The more they fought, the faster they would sink. Many explorers had died in the silver quicksand. Do-hyun knew about the quicksand. He was always careful. He tested the ground before each step. He stayed away from the low areas where the quicksand liked to hide. That evening, he heard a sound. It was a cry. Not a human cry. Something different. Something strange. It was high and sharp, like a bird, but it was also deep, like a lion. Do-hyun stopped walking. He listened. The cry came again. It was coming from the east, from the direction of the silver marshes. Do-hyun knew he should not go there. The marshes were full of quicksand, but the cry sounded like pain, like fear. Someone was in trouble. He turned and walked toward the sound. The ground became soft under his feet. The trees became thin. Soon, he could see the marshes. They stretched out before him like a silver sea. The quicksand glowed in the dying light. And there, in the middle of the quicksand, he saw her. At first, Do-hyun thought he was dreaming. He had heard stories about the dragon people. Everyone in the galaxy had heard stories. They were an ancient race. They lived on the far side of the galaxy. They were powerful and proud. They hated humans. They called humans weak and small. They never came to human planets. But now, one of them was sinking in the quicksand. She was beautiful and terrible. Her skin was covered in scales. The scales were green like emeralds. They caught the light and sparkled. Her hair was long and black. It floated on the surface of the quicksand. Her eyes were golden, like the eyes of a cat. She had wings, great wings that rose from her back. They were torn and bleeding. She could not fly. The quicksand was up to her chest. She was trying to pull herself out, but every movement made her sink faster. Her golden eyes were wide with fear. Do-hyun did not think. He did not stop to remember that her people hated humans. He did not stop to wonder if she would thank him or kill him. He just acted. He dropped his bag. He pulled out his cable. It was a strong cable, made of metal fiber. He tied one end to a tree. Then he threw the other end toward her. The cable landed near her hand. She looked at it. Then she looked at him. Her eyes were full of surprise. And something else. Anger? Shame? Take it, Do-hyun called. Take the cable. I will pull you out. She did not move. The quicksand rose higher. It was at her shoulders now. Please, Do-hyun said. You will die. Take the cable. For a long moment, she just stared at him. Then, slowly, she reached out. Her clawed fingers wrapped around the cable. Do-hyun pulled. His arms burned. His legs shook. She was heavy, much heavier than a human. The quicksand did not want to let her go. It pulled at her, tried to drag her down, but Do-hyun did not stop. He pulled and pulled. His hands bled. His muscles screamed. Still, he pulled, slowly. Very slowly. She began to move. The quicksand made angry sounds. It bubbled and hissed. But it could not hold her. Inch by inch, Do-hyun pulled her free. Finally, she reached solid ground. She lay on the grass, breathing hard. Her wings were flat against her back. Her golden eyes were closed. Do-hyun fell to his knees. He was exhausted. His whole body was shaking. But he had done it. He had saved her. For a long time, neither of them spoke. The sky grew dark. The stars came out. The strange birds stopped singing. Then the dragon woman opened her eyes. She looked at Do-hyun. Her face was hard to read. Dragons did not show emotion the same way humans did. Why? She asked. Her voice was deep and musical, like thunder and rain mixed together. Why what? Do-hyun asked. Why did you save me? You are human. I am Drachen. Our peoples are enemies. Do-hyun thought about this. It was a good question. Why had he saved her? He did not know her. He did not owe her anything. Her people hated his people. They had fought wars. Many humans had died, but when he saw her sinking, he did not think about any of that. He only thought about one thing. You needed help, he said simply. I could help. So I helped. The dragon woman stared at him. Her golden eyes searched his face. She was looking for the lie. Looking for the trick. But there was no lie. There was no trick. Just a simple truth. You are strange, she said finally. Strange and foolish. Maybe, Do-hyun agreed. He stood up slowly. His legs were still weak. Can you walk? My camp is not far. You are hurt. You need medicine. She looked at her wings. They were badly damaged. The membrane was torn in several places. Blood was still dripping from the wounds. I cannot fly, she admitted. The words seemed to cause her pain. For a dragon, losing the ability to fly was a great shame. Then walk with me, Do-hyun said. He held out his hand. She looked at his hand. Small, weak, human. Weak human had just saved her life. He had pulled her from death with his bare hands. Slowly, she reached out. Her clawed hand touched his. Her scales were warm, like sun-heated stone. She stood. She was taller than him by a head. Her wings dragged on the ground behind her. But she was alive. Because of him. They walked together through the darkness. The human and the dragon. Two enemies, walking side by side. Neither of them knew it yet. But this was the beginning of something new, something that would change everything. The stars watched them from above. The night was quiet, and somewhere in the distance, the silver quicksand glowed softly, hungry for its next victim. Do-hyun's camp was small. Just a tent, a fire pit, and some supplies. It was not much, but it was home. He had lived there for 3 months. 3 months of walking, studying, and being alone. Now he was not alone. The dragon woman sat by the fire. The flames made her scales glow orange and gold. She watched Do-hyun with careful eyes. She did not trust him. That was clear. Every time he moved, her body tensed. Every time he reached for something, her claws came out. But she did not attack him. She did not run away. She just sat there, watching. Do-hyun heated some water. He found his medical kit. It was a simple kit. Bandages, medicine, cleaning liquid. It was made for humans, not dragons. But it was better than nothing. I need to clean your wounds, he said. May I? She said nothing. But she turned and showed him her wings. The torn membrane was still bleeding. The blood was not red like human blood. It was golden, like liquid metal. Do-hyun worked slowly and carefully. He cleaned the wounds with the liquid. He applied the medicine. He wrapped the torn areas with bandages. The dragon woman did not make any sound. She did not show any pain, but Do-hyun could see her muscles tight under her scales. He knew it hurt. I am sorry, he said. I know this is painful. Pain is nothing, she replied. Pain passes. Shame does not. Shame? Why are you ashamed? She was quiet for a moment. Then she spoke. I am a warrior. The daughter of a great house. I should not need saving. I should not need help from anyone. Especially not from a human. Do-hyun finished bandaging her wings. He sat back and looked at her. In the firelight, she looked less frightening, still powerful, still dangerous, but also tired, and hurt, and maybe a little lost. Everyone needs help sometimes, he said. Even warriors. Even daughters of great houses. She turned to look at him. Her golden eyes were sharp. Is that what humans believe? It is what I believe, she made a sound. It might have been a laugh, or it might have been a growl. With dragons, it was hard to tell. My name is Nari, she said suddenly. Since you saved my life, you should know my name. Nari, Do-hyun repeated. It was a beautiful name. I am Do-hyun. Do-hyun, she said. The name sounded strange in her mouth. Foreign. But she did not say it with disgust, just curiosity. He offered her water. She took the bottle and looked at it. She had probably never drunk from a human container before. But she was thirsty. She drank deeply. Why are you here? Do-hyun asked. On Valora? Your people never come to this part of the galaxy. Nari's face changed. Something dark passed through her eyes. Pain. Memory. She did not answer for a long time. I was running, she finally said. There are those who want me dead. I thought I could hide here. I was wrong. Who wants you dead? That is not your concern, human. Do-hyun nodded. He understood. Some questions were too personal. Some secrets were too dangerous to share. You can rest here tonight, he said. You are safe. Tomorrow, your wings may be better. You can fly again. She looked at him with suspicion. Why are you helping me? You do not know me. You owe me nothing. My people have killed many of your kind, and my people have killed many of yours, Do-hyun said. War is war, but we are not at war right now. Right now, you are just a person who needs help, and I am just a person who can give it. Nari shook her head slowly. You humans are strange. You are weak. You live short lives. You have no claws, no scales, no wings. Yet, you do things like this. You save your enemies. You show kindness to strangers. It makes no sense, Do-hyun smiled. Maybe that is why we have survived so long. We help each other. We work together. We do not let hate rule our hearts. Pretty words, Nari said, but her voice was softer now, less angry. The night grew cold. Do-hyun gave her a blanket. It was too small for her, but she took it. She wrapped it around her shoulders. A dragon warrior, sitting by a human fire, covered in a human blanket. The universe was full of strange things. Do-hyun lay down in his tent. He did not sleep well. He kept waking up, expecting to find her gone, or expecting to find her standing over him with her claws out. But every time he looked, she was still sitting by the fire, still watching, still thinking. In the morning, the sun rose over the mountains. The blue trees caught the light. The flowers opened their petals. Valora was beautiful in the morning. Nari was standing at the edge of the camp. She had removed the bandages. Her wings were still damaged, but the bleeding had stopped. The medicine had helped. Do-hyun walked over to her. He offered her food. Dried meat and bread. Human food. She looked at it for a long moment. Then she took it. She ate slowly, carefully, like she was studying the taste. It is not bad, she admitted. Different from what we eat, but not bad. I am glad you like it. They stood together, looking at the valley. The silver marshes glowed in the distance. The place where they had met, the place where she had almost died. I must go, Nari said suddenly. I cannot stay here. Do-hyun nodded. He had known this moment would come. Your wings are still healing. Are you sure you can fly? I must try. If I stay, I put you in danger. The ones who hunt me, they will come. They will find me. And they will kill anyone who helped me. Who are they? Nari did not answer. She just shook her head. Do-hyun reached into his bag. He pulled out a small device. A communicator. "Take this," he said. "If you need help, you can call me. I will come." She looked at the device. It was small and simple. A human tool, nothing compared to dragon technology. But it was a gift. A gesture of friendship. "Why?" she asked again. That same question. Why? 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 "Because I believe in second chances," Do-hyun said. "Because I believe people can change. Maybe one day, humans and dragons will not be enemies. Maybe one day, we will be friends. It has to start somewhere. It might as well start with us." Nari held the communicator in her clawed hand. She looked at it. Then she looked at Do-hyun. Her golden eyes were unreadable. But something had changed in them. The hardness was still there. The pride was still there. But there was something else now. Something new. She spread her wings. They were still torn, still healing. But they were strong enough to carry her. "Goodbye, Do-hyun," she said. "I will not forget what you did." She jumped into the air. Her wings beat powerfully. She rose up, 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 into the orange sky, into the clouds. Soon, she was just a small dot. Then, she was gone. Do-hyun stood alone in his camp. The fire had gone out. The morning was quiet. He looked up at the sky where she had disappeared. "Goodbye, Nari," he said softly. "Be safe." He did not know if he would ever see her again. He did not know if she would remember him. He had given her help, and she had taken it. That was enough, or so he thought. 2 days later, everything changed. 2 days passed slowly on Valora. Do-hyun returned to his work. He walked through the valleys. He collected samples. He wrote his reports. He tried not to think about the dragon woman, but he could not stop thinking about her. Nari. The name stayed in his mind. Her golden eyes haunted his dreams. He kept looking at the sky, hoping to see her. But the sky was empty. She was gone. On the evening of the second day, Do-hyun was sitting in his camp. He was cooking dinner over the fire, simple food. Rice and vegetables. The same thing he ate every night. The life of a surveyor was not exciting. Then he heard it, a sound like thunder. But there were no clouds. The sky was clear. The stars were bright. The sound came again, louder this time. Closer. Do-hyun stood up. He looked around. His heart was beating fast. Something was coming. Something big. Then he saw them. Dragons. Dozens of them. They filled the sky like a storm. Their wings blocked out the stars. Their scales glowed in the darkness. Red and gold and green and blue. So many colors. So many warriors. They were descending toward his camp. Do-hyun's blood went cold. He knew what this meant. The dragons had found him. They had come for revenge. Nari must have told them about him. About the human who had touched a daughter of their great houses. About the human who had dared to help her. He thought about running. But where would he go? The dragons were everywhere. They were too fast. Too strong. He could not escape, so he did not try. He stood still. He faced the sky. If he was going to die, he would die with dignity. He would not run. He would not beg. He would face his death like a man. The dragons landed around him. One by one, they came down from the sky. Their feet shook the earth. Their wings stirred the dust. They formed a circle around his camp, a circle of scales and claws and golden eyes. 50 warriors. Maybe more. All of them armed. All of them looking at him. Do-hyun had never felt so small, so weak, so human. In the center of the circle, one dragon stepped forward. Do-hyun recognized her immediately. Nari. But she looked different now. She was wearing armor. Black metal that covered her chest and arms. A sword hung at her side. Her wings were fully healed. She stood tall and proud. A warrior. A leader. Behind her stood another dragon, a male. He was even taller than Nari. His scales were red like fire. His eyes were like burning coal. He looked at Do-hyun with hatred, pure, burning hatred. "Is this him?" the red dragon asked. His voice was deep and terrible. "This is the human?" "This? Yes," Nari said. "This is him." The red dragon laughed. It was not a nice laugh. "This small creature? This weak thing? This is who saved the first daughter of the Flame Throne? I do not believe it." Do-hyun's mind raced. First daughter of the Flame Throne. He did not know what that meant. But it sounded important. Very important. Nari turned to face him. Her face was still hard to read. But there was something in her eyes. Something he had not seen before. She walked toward him. Slowly. Carefully. The other dragons watched in silence. When she reached him, she stopped. They stood face to face. The dragon and the human. The warrior and the surveyor. And then Nari did something that shocked everyone. She knelt. The great dragon warrior, the first daughter of the Flame Throne, went down on one knee before a human. Her head bowed. Her wings folded behind her back. The other dragons gasped. Some cried out in anger. The red dragon roared with fury. "What are you doing?" he shouted. "Have you gone mad? You kneel before a human? Before this insect?" Nari ignored him. She stayed on her knee. Her golden eyes looked up at Do-hyun. "2 days ago," she said, "I was dying. The quicksand was taking me. I had accepted my death. And then you came. You saved me. You did not ask for payment. You did not ask for reward. You simply helped me because I needed help." She reached up and touched the place where her wings had been injured. They were fully healed now. Not even a scar remained. "In the old laws of my people," Nari continued, "when someone saves your life, you owe them a life debt. This is the most sacred bond we have. It cannot be broken. It cannot be ignored. You saved me, Do-hyun. Now my clan owes you everything." The red dragon stepped forward. "This is madness. We do not owe debts to humans. They are our enemies. They are beneath us." "Silence, Taewon," Nari said. Her voice was sharp as a blade. "You were not there. You did not see what he did. He pulled me from death with his bare hands. His blood is still on the cable he used. He risked his life for a stranger, for an enemy." She turned back to Do-hyun. "The Flame Throne recognizes its debts. My father, the Dragon King, has sent us to honor you. Name your enemy. Human. Name the one who has wronged you. We will destroy them. We will burn their cities. We will scatter their ashes across the stars. This is our gift to you." Do-hyun stared at her. His mind could not process what was happening. An hour ago, he was eating rice and vegetables. Now, a dragon princess was kneeling before him, offering him an army. "I do not understand," he said. His voice was small and confused. "It is simple," Nari said. "You saved my life. Now we will take a life for you. Any life you choose. This is the old way. This is the way of the Flame Throne." The other dragons watched in silence. Some of them still looked angry. But many of them were curious. They wanted to see what the human would do. They wanted to see if he was worthy of their princess's debt. Do-hyun looked at the army around him. 50 dragon warriors. Each one strong enough to destroy a city. Each one loyal to the Flame Throne. Each one waiting for his command. This was power. Real power. More power than any human had ever held over dragons. He could point at any planet, any nation, any person, and they would be destroyed. No questions asked. No mercy given. Many humans would have been tempted. Many humans would have thought of old enemies, old grudges, people who had wronged them, people who had hurt them. But Do-hyun was not like many humans. He looked at Nari. She was still kneeling, still waiting. Her golden eyes were patient. "Stand up," he said gently. "Please, you do not need to kneel to me." Nari looked confused. But she stood. She was taller than him again. stronger than him again. But somehow, in this moment, they felt equal. I do not want you to destroy anyone, Do-hyun said. The dragons murmured in surprise. The red one, Taewon, laughed bitterly. See? He is a coward. He does not have the strength to use our gift. But Nari held up her hand for silence. She was watching Do-hyun with great interest. If you do not want destruction, she said, then what do you want? Do-hyun took a deep breath. This was the moment. The moment that would change everything. I want friendship, he said. The dragons stood in silence. The word hung in the air like smoke. Friendship. Such a small word. Such a simple word. But to the dragons, it was the strangest thing they had ever heard. Taewon was the first to speak. His red scales glowed with anger. Friendship? You are offered the greatest gift a human can receive, and you ask for friendship? This is an insult. Let him speak, Nari said. Her voice was calm but firm. He has earned the right to explain. To explain, Do-hyun looked at the dragons around him. 50 warriors. All watching him. All judging him. He had never felt so nervous in his life. But he had started this. He needed to finish it. My people and your people have been enemies for a long time, he said. We have fought many wars. We have killed each other. We have hated each other. And what has it brought us? Only more pain. Only more death. He paused. He looked at Nari. When I saw you in the quicksand, I did not see an enemy. I saw a person who needed help. And when you came here tonight, you did not come to kill me. You came to honor a debt. Maybe that means something. Maybe that means we are not so different. 2. An old dragon stepped forward. She had silver scales and kind eyes. She walked with the help of a staff. The other dragons made way for her. I am Yuna, she said. Her voice was soft like wind through leaves. I am the elder of the flame throne. I have lived for 500 years. I have seen many wars. I have lost many friends. She looked at Do-hyun with great interest. Never in all my years have I heard a human ask for friendship. Most would ask for gold, or weapons, or the death of their enemies. But you ask for peace. Is that wrong? Do-hyun asked. It is unusual, Yuna said, but not wrong. Perhaps it is the wisest thing anyone has asked for in a very long time. Taewon stepped forward again. His anger had not cooled. This is foolishness. We cannot be friends with humans. They are weak. They are short-lived. They cannot be trusted. Cannot be trusted? Do-hyun said. He was surprised by his own courage. I saved your princess. I did not have to. I could have let her die. But I chose to help her. Is that the action of someone who cannot be trusted? Taewon had no answer. He looked away, his jaw tight. Nari stepped closer to Do-hyun. You understand what you are asking? Friendship between our peoples would change everything. There are those who would oppose it. On both sides. There would be danger. There is always danger. Do-hyun said. Life is dangerous. But hiding from danger does not make it go away. It only makes us weaker. Yuna nodded slowly. The human speaks truth. We have hidden from change for too long. Perhaps it is time for something new. She turned to the other dragons. I call for a vote. The human has asked for friendship. He has saved the first daughter. His request must be considered. All those in favor of accepting his request, show your wings. One by one, the dragons began to spread their wings. First Nari. Then Yuna. Then others. Young warriors and old. Male and female. Slowly, the circle of dragons became a circle of open wings, not all of them. Some kept their wings closed. Taewon stood with his arms crossed. His wings pressed tightly against his back, but he was in the minority. Most of the dragons had voted yes. Yuna smiled. It was a strange sight, a dragon smiling. But it was a warm smile, a hopeful smile. It is decided, she said. The Flame Throne accepts your request. Do-hyun of the humans. We will be your friends. And we will remember this day. Taewon stormed away. He jumped into the air and flew off into the darkness. Some of the other opposing dragons followed him. But most stayed. Nari walked to Do-hyun. She held out her hand. Palm up. Open. In my culture, she said, this is how we seal a promise. We touch hands. It is a bond that cannot be broken. Do-hyun looked at her hand. The scales were smooth and warm. The claws were sharp but not threatening. He reached out and placed his hand on hers. Her scales felt like warm stone. Her grip was gentle but strong. For a moment, they just stood there. Human and dragon. Two people from two different worlds. Choosing to trust each other. Thank you, Do-hyun said. Do not thank me yet, Nari replied. This is only the beginning. There is much work to do. Many people will not accept this. On your side and on mine. I know. But we have to start somewhere. Nari nodded. She looked at him with new eyes. No longer suspicious. No longer angry. There was respect in her golden gaze. Maybe even the beginning of friendship. You are not like other humans, she said. You are not like other dragons, he replied. She almost smiled. Perhaps that is why this might work. The other dragons began to settle around the camp. Some started fires. Others brought food. Strange food that Do-hyun had never seen. Meat from animals he could not name. Fruits that glowed with soft light. They shared their food with him, and he shared his. It was a strange dinner. 50 dragons and 1 human, eating together under the stars. They talked and laughed. They told stories. The dragons spoke of their home world, a place of fire and mountains. Do-hyun spoke of Earth, a place of oceans and forests. They were so different. And yet, as the night went on, they began to find things in common. Both peoples loved their children. Both peoples valued courage. Both peoples feared death but faced it anyway. Both peoples dreamed of a better future. Yuna sat beside Do-hyun. She was old and tired, but her eyes were bright. You have done something remarkable tonight, she said. You have planted a seed of peace. It may take many years to grow. It may face many storms, but if we are careful, if we are patient, it will become a great tree, a tree under which both our peoples can find shade. Do-hyun looked at the dragons around him. They were no longer monsters, no longer enemies. They were just people. Strange and different, yes, but people. I hope you are right, he said. I hope this works. Hope is the first step, Yuna said. The second step is action. And you have already taken both. She stood slowly, leaning on her staff. Tomorrow, we must return to our home. We must tell the Dragon King what has happened. But we will not forget you, Do-hyun. You are now a friend of the Flame Throne. That is a title no human has ever held. Nari approached as Yuna walked away. She sat down beside Do-hyun. For a while, they said nothing. They just watched the fires, listened to the dragons talking, felt the cool night air. I thought you were going to ask for something else, Nari said finally. I thought you would ask us to fight for you, to destroy your enemies. That is what most people want. Power over others. Power is dangerous, Do-hyun said. It changes people, makes them cruel. I have seen it happen. I do not want that for myself. Then what do you want? Do-hyun thought about the question. It was a good question. What did he want? He was just a surveyor, a man who studied rocks and wrote reports. He had no great ambitions, no dreams of conquest. I want a universe where people help each other, he said. Where we do not kill each other because we look different or think different. Is that too much to ask? Nari looked at the stars. It is a big dream. Maybe too big. All dreams start big, then we make them small, one step at a time. Nari was quiet for a moment. Then she nodded. I like the way you think, Do-hyun. It is different. But good different. She stood and stretched her wings. They were fully healed now, strong and beautiful. Get some sleep, she said. Tomorrow will be a long day. We have much to do. A new world to build. She walked away to join her clan. Do-hyun watched her go. Then he lay down and looked at the stars. A new world. It seemed impossible. But so did a dragon princess kneeling before a human. So did 50 warriors asking for peace. Maybe impossible was just another word for not yet. Do-hyun closed his eyes. For the first time in years, he fell asleep with hope in his heart. The morning came too fast. Do-hyun woke to the sound of dragons preparing to leave. They were folding their tents and gathering their supplies. The air was busy with activity. Nari stood at the edge of the camp. She was watching the sunrise. The orange light made her green scales shine like jewels. She looked peaceful, different from the angry warrior he had first met. Do-hyun walked to her. You are leaving. Quote, we must. My father waits. He needs to know what has happened here. Will he accept this? The friendship? Nari was quiet for a moment. My father is a wise king. He has seen many things, many wars, many deaths. I think he is tired of fighting. I think he will welcome peace. And if he does not, Nari turned to look at him. Her golden eyes were serious. Then I will fight for you. For this dream, I made a promise, Do-hyun. I do not break my promises. They stood in silence. The other dragons were almost ready. Yuna was giving orders. Taewon was nowhere to be seen. He had left in the night and not returned. There will be others like Taewon, Do-hyun said. On both sides. People who do not want peace. People who prefer hate. Yes, there will always be such people. But we cannot let them win. We cannot let fear decide our future. Do-hyun reached into his pocket. He pulled out a small stone. He had found it on his first day on Valora. It was smooth and blue, with gold lines running through it. He had kept it as a reminder of this place. Take this, he said. He held it out to Nari. It is not much. Just a stone. But where I come from, we give gifts to our friends. To remember them. Nari took the stone. She held it in her clawed hand. She looked at it for a long moment. Then she reached up and removed something from around her neck. A small chain with a red crystal. This belonged to my mother, she said. She died when I was young. I have worn it ever since. It is the most precious thing I own. She held it out to Do-hyun. I cannot take this, he said. It is too important. That is why you must take it. Important gifts mean important promises. As long as you wear this, you are under the protection of the Flame Throne. No dragon will harm you. You have my word. Do-hyun took the chain. The crystal was warm. It seemed to glow with its own light. He put it around his neck. It hung against his chest like a small sun. Thank you, Nari. Thank you, Do-hyun, for everything. The dragons gathered behind her. They were ready to leave. 50 warriors standing in a great line. Their wings folded. Their eyes forward. An army of fire and scales. Waiting for their princess. Yuna approached one last time. She placed her old hand on Do-hyun's shoulder. You have done well, young human. The universe will remember this day. The day when everything changed. I did not do anything special, Do-hyun said. I just helped someone who needed help. And that is the most special thing of all. Do not ever stop being kind, Do-hyun. Kindness is the most powerful weapon in the universe. It can break down walls that no sword can cut. She stepped back and joined the others. Nari spread her wings. They were beautiful in the morning light. Wide, and strong, and free. I will return, she said. When I have spoken to my father. When things are ready. I will come back for you. And together, we will build something new. I will be here, Do-hyun said. Waiting. She smiled. A real smile. The first smile he had ever seen on a dragon's face. It was strange and wonderful. "Goodbye, friend," she said. "Goodbye, friend," he replied. She jumped into the air. Her wings beat powerfully. The other dragons followed her. One by one, they rose into the sky. A storm of wings and scales and fire. They climbed higher and higher until they were just dots against the clouds. Then, they were gone. Do-hyun stood alone in his camp. The fires had died. The food was gone. The only proof that any of it had happened was the crystal around his neck. He touched it gently. It was still warm. 3 months later, everything changed again. The news spread across the galaxy like wildfire. The Dragon Kingdom had sent ambassadors to the Human Council. They came not with weapons but with gifts. Not with threats but with offers of trade and alliance. The humans were shocked. For centuries, they had feared the dragons. They had built weapons to fight them. They had trained armies to defend against them. And now the dragons wanted peace. Many humans were suspicious. They thought it was a trick. A trap. But then the dragons told them about Do-hyun. They told them about the surveyor, who had saved a princess. About the human who had been offered an army and asked for friendship instead. Do-hyun became famous. His story was told on every human world. People called him a hero. Some called him a fool. But everyone knew his name. The Dragon King himself asked to meet him. Do-hyun traveled to the dragon home world. It was a place of fire and mountains, just as the dragons had described. But it was also a place of beauty. Rivers of lava that glowed like liquid gold, forests of crystal trees, cities carved into the sides of volcanoes. The king was old. His scales were gray and worn, but his eyes were sharp. "So you are the human who changed everything," the king said. "You look smaller than I imagined." "I am just a surveyor," Do-hyun said. "I study rocks." The king laughed. It was a deep sound, like thunder rolling across mountains. "You study rocks, and yet you have moved nations. You have ended a war that has lasted 1,000 years. Not bad for someone who studies rocks." He stepped forward and placed his great hand on Do-hyun's shoulder. "You showed my daughter something. You showed her that humans are not what we thought. That you are capable of kindness, of honor, of friendship. For that, I thank you." "I only did what anyone would do," Do-hyun said. "No," the king replied. "You did what everyone should do. That is different, and that is why you are special." Nari stood beside her father. She was smiling. That same strange, wonderful smile. "We have much work to do," she said. "Trade agreements. Cultural exchanges. 1,000 years of hate to undo. It will take time." "I have time," Do-hyun said. "I am not going anywhere." And he did not. He stayed with the dragons. He became an ambassador. A bridge between two worlds. He helped build schools, where dragon and human children learned together. He helped create markets where both peoples traded goods. He helped write laws that protected everyone. Years passed. The alliance grew stronger. Not everyone accepted it. There were fights. There were setbacks. Some people never stopped hating. But more and more people chose peace. More and more people chose friendship. Do-hyun grew old. His hair turned gray. His steps became slow. But he never stopped working. Never stopped believing. On the day he died, Nari was by his side. She was old too. Her scales had faded. Her wings were stiff. But her golden eyes were still bright. "You did it," she said. "You changed the universe." "We did it," Do-hyun replied. "Together." He reached up and touched the red crystal around his neck. He had worn it every day since she gave it to him. It was warm, as always. "I am glad I saved you," he said. "That day in the quicksand. I am glad I did not walk away." So am I," Nari said. Tears rolled down her scaled cheeks. Dragons did not cry often. But this was a day for tears. Do-hyun closed his eyes. He smiled, and the universe remembered. They built a statue of him on Valora, right by the silver marshes where it all began. A small human, reaching out his hand to help. Behind him, a dragon rising from the quicksand. Beneath the statue, they carved his words, "Everyone needs help sometimes. I was just someone who could give it, and that was enough. That was everything." That was the day humanity earned something greater than fear. Something greater than respect. They earned the eternal friendship of dragonkind. And it all started with one act of kindness. One moment of courage. One man who refused to let hate win. This is why humans are special. This is why the universe will never forget them. Because when no one else would help, they did.